Hello my YouTube friends! Today I'm going to do some introductory stuff for Streamerbot. If you don't know what Streamerbot is, it's a totally free tool that adds on to OBS that can create all kinds of amazing effects for your live stream. Today I'm going to teach you how your audience can use the chat to activate different effects on your live stream. It's really simple, so you know what? Let's get to it! Now, Streamerbot is totally free, and there are links in the description so you can download it and follow along with me. That is the best way to learn. Let's jump right in. Once you have Streamerbot installed, let's connect it to the platforms that we want to use. First, we're going to go to platforms, and you can see they have Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, VStream. For YouTube, all you have to do is go ahead and click the sign in with Google, and it's going to take you through the same connection process that you would have with any of the other apps. So you just select the account you want to stream with and walk through the process, and it will set it up. And then you just want to click the auto connect button. With Twitch, it pretty much works the same way. So you just go over here to accounts and you log in to your Twitch account, and you can set up a bot account on either YouTube or Twitch. And what that means is you can have a second account that's going to post things in chat for you, so it doesn't always look like you're the one doing it. You know, it could be Michael Feyrer Jr. bot or whatever instead of this. And you could create as many Google accounts as you want to be able to do that. So if you want to have a bot account that does all the responses in the chat from Streamerbot, you could do that pretty easily. So once you have your YouTube account connected, the next thing you want to do is connect your Stream app. So you can see I have OBS connected here, and this is going to work on OBS 28 or higher because it connects through the WebSocket. Let me show you what I mean. So we've got OBS, you can name it pretty much whatever you want. And the version 5 is the WebSocket. Version 5 is what's built into any of the OBS post version 28. If you are using version 27, you'll have to download the WebSocket from OBS's plugins, and then you select the version for that. But the host and the port information is pretty much the same. It's very unlikely that anyone who's watching this is going to be using anything other than a newer version than version 28. Then you want to have a reconnect at startup and reconnect on disconnect, and you retry interval and click OK. And you can see down here it shows that I am connected to both my YouTube account and my OBS account, which means that we're already in OBS. So if I select that, you can actually see over here my current scene is screen, and you know, your status, not streaming. I am recording, obviously, and it shows you the actual sources that are in that particular scene. So my display capture, which is what we're capturing right here, audio input capture for my microphone, and the screen, which would be this screen right here. So that is how you initially set up Streamerbot, so it's connected to the platforms it needs to be connected to do all of the cool things that I'm going to show you next. So I'll quickly walk you through the tabs that we have going on here. When you're live here in the viewer tab, it's going to show you all the viewers. So if you uncheck this, it will show you anyone who's ever connected to this particular version of Streamerbot as a viewer. Your actions. This is where you can tell Streamerbot the actions that you want it to take and the sub-actions and what triggers those actions. We're definitely going to get into that. The action queue allows you to queue up those actions so they're not all happening at one time. So you've got pending actions, your queues, and your action history right here. And it will be more self-explanatory once we actually have some actions that might be pending or anything like that. Commands is where you could put in commands that are related to anything that you're doing where you're going to expect some sort of viewer input, like chat commands and that sort of thing. Platforms, obviously Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, VStream. This is where you set up the platforms that you're going to be streaming to. Streaming apps allows you to set up the platforms that you're going to use to stream. So they've got OBS, Streamlabs, and Polypop. Integrations is a list of all kinds of applications and websites that you can use to increase the functionality of Streamerbot. So you've got Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Voice Mod, Donor Drive, Pulsoid, all kinds of really cool stuff. Streamerbot website right here, VTube Studio. You could set this up with your Elgato speaker bot, and we can go all the way to the end. Twitch integrated throwing system, all kinds of very cool stuff. These are all integrated directly into Streamerbot and allow you to add more functionality to what Streamerbot can control and do. MIDI allows you to integrate some audio and voice control aspects to Streamerbot. You've got your hotkeys, so you can select hotkeys that can do different functions. Server and clients, so this is where you'd put in your WebSocket server if you wanted something to communicate directly with Streamerbot. You've got your initial settings, and I've never actually even looked in here, so it's not something you're going to really need to know. The About, which tells you a little bit about the Streamerbot application. It gives you the opportunity to go ahead and sign in down here to interact with folks who set this up and do all the work to support it. Up here at the top, you've got this drop down where you've got save and import, export, all kinds of different stuff. You can add suggestions. You can go to the documentation and you can open the log folder. You're definitely going to go to the documentation on occasion to figure out how to set up different things in Streamerbot, so it's good to know how to get to it. You can also contribute to the further development of Streamerbot with Patreon or Ko-fi, and I highly recommend if you use it and you like it, you do so. You can also save, import, and export, and that's pretty much the open interface for Streamerbot. Let me show you one of the basic actions that you can create. So let's just go ahead and click add right here in actions. And this action is going to be called Toasty. And if we don't have any groups set up, that's fine. That's something you can do later. The queue is default because we don't have any queues set up. We don't really need to put any of that stuff in. We can just click OK. So now that we've got Toasty created in actions, we want to set up a command that's going to trigger it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, we're going to right click, and we're going to go to add. We'll call this Toasty, and we're going to put the command in here that we want to activate Toasty, and it's going to be a chat command. There we go. We'll just put the little exclamation point Toasty, and we don't have any groups selected or anything like that. We just want to make sure it's enabled, and we want to make sure that we have our chat source selected where we want this to run. So if we're multi-streaming, we can use a bunch of different things. I only really stream to YouTube, so that's all I need to select. Then we can choose whether we want it to ignore bot accounts or ignore internal messages. And then over here, we can select whom we want to be able to trigger this in the chat. Now, if you don't select anything here, that means anyone in the chat is going to be able to trigger this, which for the purposes of this is just fine. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And now we have that chat command created. So we can go back into actions and we can right click here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to our core and we're going to go into commands and we're going to go to command triggered and we're going to select our command Toasty and we're going to click OK. So basically what this tells us is that when this command is triggered and our sub actions is going to be what that's going to do. So we're going to right click on here and we're going to go into OBS. And we're going to go down to sources and we're going to select set source visibility state. And then you can see we have our scene right here. Our video capture device is the source. But if we drop this down, we can select our Toasty source and we want to make the state visible. And so let me show you how this is set up. We'll go ahead and bring up our thing right here. And we have our scene with our video capture device and then this video file called Toasty. If I click on it, you can see it's just me popping up over here on the side. And if we turn it off, we turned it off, and there we go. So now when we trigger this, we're going to get this turning on the visibility state for Toasty. We can test that by going right here and clicking test trigger. And we can see that it turns it on, and there it goes. And then what we want it to do is we're going to go and right click here and we're going to go to core and we're going to go to delay and we're going to decide how long this video footage is right here. And we can look right here and it will tell us it's 4 seconds. 4 seconds is 400 milliseconds. So we can set our delay to 400 and then click OK. And then all we want to do is select this, right click, and I'm just going to duplicate this. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to set our visibility state. And instead of visible, we're going to set this to hidden. So now when we test it, we can watch our little eyeball here, which should automatically be set to invisible. And we can watch our little eyeball here. We'll right click here and we'll test the trigger. And you can see it turns it on, but it turns it off really quickly. So too fast for this to know. So our millisecond delay is way too short. This has to be 4,000. There we go. And now when we test it, it turns it on. It does the thing. and then it turns it off. When anyone types in chat, our chat command, which is toasty, it's going to trigger that action right there. And that's how simple it is to set up chat commands to trigger different actions in your live stream. There are so many different things that you can do with this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I want to teach you the very basics that you can build on to create amazing effects in your live stream. So this is just the first one. But if you have something that you want me to teach you how to do in Streamerbot, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see a video showing you how to create an entire point system that you can use with chat triggers, check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.